Welcome back to episode 13 of the Testrun. Today, I'm joined by a Minecraft streamer and content creator who created her own SMP that revolves around storytelling and creating a meaningful impact among her audience. Please welcome Kaboodle. Kaboodle, how are you today?
Hello. Hello, Parrot. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
It is 7:30 in the morning, so I am sleepy, but I'm a bit sleepy. But apart from that, chilling.
Well, because you're from, like, the land down under, right? Australia?
Oh my god, the land. Yes, I'm from Australia. The land down under. I guess, yeah. Is that actually what people call it? Do you guys actually call it that?
We actually call it that.
Really?
And the thing is, you know how...
Really?
Yeah. You know how Spectacle is also from Australia?
Yeah.
We, like, make fun of him so badly.
You make fun of me for being Australian, I will make fun of you for being American, and that is significantly worse.
Okay, I have a question, though, like, that pertains to Australian people.
Okay.
Okay, ready? Translate what I say into what it means in English, okay?
Okay.
What does it mean when I say... Wait. Let me put some mutton on the bobby. What does that mean to you?
Mutton on the barbie. It's just like lamb on a grill.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
So this is actually true.
Why are you testing me on my Australianness?
There's like actually Australian dialect. I didn't know that.
No one says it, but we all have to know how to say it because it's like the very, like everyone just says, like my dad, if he's just going to grill something, he just says, I'm going to go put sausages on the barbecue. Like it's not, it's not common to hear, but like it's common enough that, okay. Some people say it. My family doesn't say it. Some people do actually say that, though. So you kind of got to know. But it's not super common.
So what if I said, what's the John Dory?
I've never heard that used in actual conversation.
Okay, what about...
I know what that means. I think. Isn't it just like, how are you doing? But I've never heard anyone say that, like, legitimately.
So, like, what are some Australian terms that you actually use that, like, you wouldn't use anywhere else?
G'day is, like, the actual one. Like, there's, like, the most common one that's actually used.
Yeah, I've heard that one a lot.
It's mainly just dads. It's just dads that use Australian intellect. No one else does it. It's just, like, 40, 50-year-old dads that all get together and they go, g'day, mate. But... That's it. That's the only people that actually ever use this, or at least in my experience.
So if I said you're carrying on like a pork chop, you don't know what that means?
What? Where are you getting these from?
I just searched up Australian vernacular, and I'm like, there's so many of these.
I don't even know what that means. You're carrying on like a pork chop?
It says...
I have never heard that in my life. The
English meaning is acting unreasonable.
Acting unreasonable. I mean, that would make sense, but why a pork chop?
I have no idea. Okay, actually, genuine question though. Have you ever like spotted a kangaroo in the wild?
I have, but that's only because I've gone camping. So when I go camping, you often see them, like, they're not uncommon. You often see them in the bush when you're camping. Like all the times I think almost every time I've gone camping, you always see like a few of them. I remember the last time I saw like a giant group. There was like 20 or 30 of them that were all like really close to our campsite. It was okay. I love kangaroos, but they're very threatening. You don't want to go near them. They are very scary. I don't know if you've seen like a close-up picture of a kangaroo before, but they have like muscles. Like,
oh yeah.
They're not jokes about being boxers for no reason. They are like, you go near them, they will kick you in the face. Like, their tails are crazy strong as well.
Yeah, I've seen like videos where the kangaroo just sits in the water, and it's sitting in the water because it wants its like predator to go into the water, and then it's gonna drown it.
Yep.
That's what I've seen.
They are scary. They are scary as hell.
Also, when you say like camping out in the bush, what is the bush? Because I've heard all these different things, like, but to me, Australia is just, there's city and then there's desert for miles.
Okay, it depends where you live. So I live in Sydney, so that's like much more of like it's on the edge of the coast, so it's much more climate. So there's not actually like any desert here, because it's in like the kind of tropical area of Australia. So the bush is just lots and lots of trees and bushes, which I guess would make sense for the bush, but it's, oh my God. Okay. I don't like bugs that much, which is really bad because I live in Australia, but it means that I don't go camping very often because of that, but when I do, there is bugs everywhere. That's the thing I've heard about. I don't know where in America you live. Apparently Florida is similar, but I've heard in like California and especially England, there's like not, when you go camping, there's like not that many bugs or anything. You will always see a bug when you're camping in Australia, all the time, everywhere. Spiders, leashes, anything. And it sucks. To me, I hate them. All right. I hate bugs. They freak me out. But most people like that. But it just gets really hot because it's the outback, I guess. God, I hate that I just said that. But I've never really been. Actually, I've explored more of Canada than I have Australia, actually. I've never really been anywhere else other than Sydney. I've been to, like, the Gold Coast a few times, which is, like, Queensland-ish area. But I've never actually seen the desert bit of Australia because I've always been on sort of, like, the coast side. But there is lots and lots and lots of desert for miles, which is why Australia is so big but has such a small population for how big it is, because all of it is just desert.
Yeah, because what Spectacle has told me, it seems like you live in more of the city part, and I think that's also true for Darapchu. But
yeah, Darapchu lives like 20 minutes away from me.
oh my gosh, that's insane.
Yeah, I could literally just drive to his house right now.
Okay, what Spectacle has told me is that like he doesn't live in the city, he just lives smack down in the desert, and he like tells me how he like. I'm like, have you ever seen a kangaroo before? And he's like, yeah, I see him all the time, like outside of my house. And I'm like, really? And then I'm like, have you ever seen a billabong before? And he's like, yeah, there's like some close to my house. And I'm like, no way.
Wow. Yeah, Mads literally lives in the middle of wow. Huh. Yeah, I live in a very like suburban area. I live in like the areas. I don't want to say which suburb I live in, obviously, but I live in Sydney, which is a very like, it's a very urban area.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna segue. But we still get. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, but we still get leeches here, and it's awful. At my house, it sucks. It's bad.
Wait,
I hate
leeches?
Them. Yeah.
Well, okay, wait. Is this like an Australian term, or is this like the actual tadpole-looking thing that sucks your blood? No,
it's the tadpole thing that sucks your blood. Yeah.
Wait, and they fall out of the sky?
Yep, and onto you. It sucks.
Wait, what?
Uh-huh.
Wait. Is that a joke? Like they actually rain out of the sky?
Yeah.
Are you actually being serious? Like they precipitate?
No, I'm not being serious. How would that work?
I was thinking like they start in like tiny little eggs and they evaporate with the water. That's what I thought you meant. And then they like grow in the sky and fall down. But we do have these things called drop bears, and they sit in trees. You always have to look out for them whenever I'm camping. They sit in trees and then they'll drop on you just randomly. Yeah, that
really
sounds like
scary,
ticks.
but you do have to watch out for them. Yeah. Drop bears are not fun. But no, there's like leeches at my house. Like whenever it rains, I always have to be really careful where I step.
Yeah.
Because there might just be a leech on the ground. It's bad. Anyway, what were you gonna segue to?
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say like I did not know this would be the day that I would have a 10-minute conversation with someone about Australia, but I'm going to segue.
Here we are.
Yeah, I'm going to segue into something that people I think will care a little bit more about, which is you being a streamer / creator / owner of an SMP. I wanted to talk more about your SMP, which is Kaboodle SMP. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
I would love to talk about Kaboodle SMP. So Kaboodle SMP started as a passion project. Well, it started, my original thought for it was a very long time ago, much before I actually started the series. I originally started thinking of the idea back in September of 2021. where I came up with the concept of the three different factions, the three different races, kind of based off of a game called World of Warcraft that I really like playing. How there's two different factions in that game, and they fight against each other. And you can play as both. And I really like the idea of how you can have like multiple factions in a story and have them both be just so morally gray that it'll like that people will pick up based off of their personal morals. So I've always liked the idea of just having like no particular villain, but sort of three sides that all have very different conflicting views, but none of them are in the wrong. So I wanted to do that with KSMP because, and I saw a very good opportunity for it because there's 3 dimensions in Minecraft, and no one's really, not that I've seen anyway, no one's really developed that much in sort of the storytelling aspect with those 3 dimensions. So I thought that I would add that, and it's grown to become an SMP that I hold very close to my heart, and I know lots of other people do. It's helped a lot of people like in the SMP sort of find their place in the Minecraft community as well, which has been really nice. It's grown a lot of friendships. Like before KSMP, I don't think any of us knew like Pyro, but now especially Maddie and Pyro are like best friends and like such close friends. I'm really good friends with Pyro. But like before then we didn't know. We met Clown Pierce through KSMP, which has just been life-changing for me. He is one of the most incredible people. Clown is wonderful. I will never be able to praise Clown enough. He has changed my life most definitely in terms of content creation. But it's opened so many opportunities for so many people, and we all love it, and so much work goes into it. We have we have a giant lore document that's about 120 pages long on Google Word that literally has every single piece of information of the entire series up to like, I think we're finishing off season 2, starting season 3 now, because we're about to start season 2. I can't say the release date for season 2 because it hasn't been announced yet. But things for that are... Wait, when does this come out? When does this podcast come out?
Tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, okay, I can't say too much then. The release date has not been announced yet. It will be announced soon. We have some teasers coming out pretty soon as well for everything to do with season 2. I am very, very excited about it. Season 2 has been in production since like, because the SMP started in July. We were working on it for about a month or 2 beforehand. So it was good for season 1, but we started production on season 2 in like October. So we've been working on this for a very long time. We've got some very cool things planned for it. I'm very excited. Very cool people. I love it so much, and everyone on the SMP loves it so much as well. Like we're such a chill little group of people that all just love telling stories, and the way we've made a really good system for how everyone can like get what they want to do, and everyone gets like a part, because something I found in lore SMPs is I looked at, before I made KSMP, I looked at Dream SMP a lot in terms of how, this kind of sounds weird, but like how they sort of messed up a little bit, so I can sort of like build on that and fix that a lot. And I think one of the main things there was that after Wilbur stopped writing for it, it kind of like the SMP kind of got like it went a very different direction. Like it was a very sudden tone shift between writers, and that was something I thought that the community reacted to pretty poorly as well. Like it just wasn't a great thing. So something we've made sure to happen in KSMP is that none of the people participate. Oh yeah, and people always I've been told that people always felt left out a lot of the time in Dream SMP, because it was always just like the main people that would write whatever they wanted for themselves, and then everyone else would kind of get shoved to the side sometimes. So we've made sure so that doesn't happen in KSMP, is that none of the members, including me, don't actually like write that much for ourselves. Like we have ideas, but every single thing every idea that we write and everything that like goes into the series is always ran by a group of writers first. So we have a team of, I think there's like 5-6 writers now, with Fanity being the lead writer. And she basically just manages everything, like every single thing in terms of story that's put onto the server. And then the streamers will put in their ideas. But we've made it so that you can contribute as much as you want. You can not contribute and be a side character if you want, like whatever you want to do, but everyone will get a significant part. To make sure that no one feels left out. Even if they like don't have that much time to put into the SMP, you will still get a main role if you want it. We always try to make sure that everyone gets to do what they want, basically, because that's the whole thing of this, is you get to tell stories and you get to create this character in this other universe with magical abilities to play, and that will end up bringing a lot of love to a lot of people. And that's one of the aspects I love of it so much, is seeing like how much the community loves every episode of KSMP, because we do it weekly, and every week has like a cinematic to go with it that we also put lots of effort into. Jake is the goat for that. Bumpy Jake makes all of our cinematics and he is wonderful, and Nate does all the audio for it and they're so good at it. But just seeing like the tweets after it, and like I this is bad and I shouldn't do this, but I always go on Twitter after every episode and just like look through all the tweets being like, oh, wow, because everyone always loves it so much, and it's such a great feeling just bringing happiness through these silly little Minecraft characters to so many people. It makes me smile just thinking about it. But yeah, so I just rambled a long time. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. That's actually, it's so interesting because I think Lifesteal really, really early on, it felt like the complete opposite of what you're describing, right?
Really? How so?
Yeah, so Lifesteal, we've kept it like completely unscripted, right? But in the first year, we were so against scripting. I don't know why that was. I honestly have no idea, but it's like the idea of scripting, even though I like don't use it in my videos, it's kind of grown on me so much, because I'm like, if I'm just playing and I'm getting this good footage, imagine what I could do if I could create the story beforehand and then get people to act it out. Another thing that I think is really cool is that people who script their YouTube videos, especially in like the Minecraft space right now, I haven't really seen that many standouts. You know what I mean? Like I've seen a lot of these SMP like the scripting that I see on YouTube right now is like, I got revenge on this SMP and everything's planned out. It's like 30 seconds in, this guy comes up to another guy. You need to give me back all my netherite in 20 seconds or something. So, yeah. But the way I kind of think about it now is that if you're good at it, you can kind of create such a meaningful story. And
so true.
Oh my gosh. Like what's really interesting is that for the past month, I've been like lying in my bed every single night. And I'm like, should I switch to scripted content? Like, how would my audience react? Because obviously if I switch from what I currently do to Leo coming up to me and saying, you have 24 hours to get me back to diamonds. Yeah, everybody would hate on me. But if I created this piece that was like I had planned out beforehand, and I got actors and all these different things, and it was just a really meaningful piece of content, like how would an audience react to that? And I think that's just something that's really special about your server.
Aw, thanks, man.
No problem.
Yeah, honestly, like scripted content, I also used to be pretty against like a year or two ago now. But I think especially with like when I guess when I started KSMP and when I started looking at lore servers like Outsiders, and what was the first I forgot the first power creation server. It wasn't before Rats. What was it? I don't remember. But that one, I sort of just went like, this stuff can be scripted, but it's like also just like you can make such a good story out of it. And at the end of the day, like what's improvised content if you don't actually get anything out of it? Like if it's not entertaining, what's the point of it even just being content?
Exactly.
So yeah, so I've always loved KSMP as well, because KSMP we try to keep it like, it's not scripted as into like every word except for the cinematics. Obviously, those have to be pre-scripted. But what we do normally is, let me get up the doc. What we do normally is for the lore stuff is we have like certain dot points that we just have to hit throughout the stream, but all of the dialogue and everything is completely unscripted. So let me find an example. Oh fuck, it's so long. It's so fucking long. Um okay, yeah. So for example, the second ever episode of KSMP was when Ray came through, like Ray was just settling into the house, and then Pyro and Clown came through the portal and went, Ray, you're evil, man. So it literally, the dot points are just Pyro sees Ray jump through portal, Pyro goes to get Clown, Pyro and Clown go through the portal together. Ray runs. Pyro tells that Ray's side of the story, disbelief. So it's entirely just like short dot points. So we keep everything mainly as well too, because it is an improvisation series, which is how things like Bo Burnham become canon in the series, and Sonic, which I will say both are my fault. But we like to keep it sort of that kind of lighthearted, just, and obviously there's law breaks, if something stupid happens, we all burst out laughing, and that's what I think I also love about it. It's not only is it a sort of a very serious vibe sometimes, and a lot of very angsty stuff happens in that series, but it's also just when Clown's internet goes out in the middle of a stream and he disappears when he's in the middle of saying something. You all just burst into laughter, and it's the lightheartedness of that as well that I adore about this stupid series. It means so much to me now, like, especially because I've worked so hard on it, and we have all the artists as well with all like the character reveals, and we get like a full character made for people, so because everyone gets so excited about it. It's so awesome. Like, we have a bunch of new people joining for season 2, which obviously I can't say, but so many of them have gotten so excited about this and have just been like working, because we've told them, like, everyone got added to the season 2 Discord in like January, and they won't be appearing until later this year. Obviously I can't say the date, but later this year. So they would have waited like at least 6 months between being added to the Discord and actually like being in the server. And they've been so excited about it, and it's so exciting to see people like take steps towards it, because they take steps towards it in their content without any of their audience knowing, which I think is the best thing. I'll tell you specifically after the audio of what I'm thinking of, but I've seen so many of the new KSMP members that haven't been announced, like, doing stuff in their regular content to like prepare for it, and it's so exciting. Just how hyped everyone gets about the series, because I love it, obviously, and I put in lots of effort to it, and I adore it and put my whole soul into this stupid project, and it's so nice to see everyone else doing it, and then everyone getting really excited about it. It's awesome.
Yeah, that sounds so sick. Because the thing is, right, I've watched, especially in like the past year, I've watched so many movies, and it kind of occurred to me, like, the things that happen in these movies, as real as they may seem, they didn't happen. And there's no world in which they actually do happen. So
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it's just like, it's so sick, honestly.
Yeah, that's the magic of acting.
Yeah, I know. Like, have you watched, what is it? Christopher Nolan's films?
Oh, maybe. What are some of his films?
There's Inception, there's Interstellar, there's Tenet.
I've been told to watch it. I have a friend that loves Interstellar and will not shut up until I watch that
yeah.
movie.
But there's like, there is no world in where we travel through a black hole to send messages back to Earth, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that that world was like completely built from scratch by Christopher Nolan and like his team, and it has become so impactful, I think that just is really important. Because like, going back to scripted versus non-scripted content, as you said, like, yeah, non-scripted content is cool, but what's the point if there's no meaning? So yeah, that's super awesome. Just creating a meaning out of content and building content so that it actually has an impact. So yeah, that's sick. Also, genuine question.
Yes.
How did you meet Clown? Because I've never actually heard this story.
Oh, how did I meet Clown? It is the funniest story. So we have the KSMP account, right, on Twitter, and it was when in the Discord, it was me, Maddie, Ray. We were the only 3 that had been announced, because it It was before the first ever stream of KSMP. It was literally when just the trailer had come out. And like we'd just been talking about it on Twitter. And in the Discord, so it was me, Maddie, Ray, which were the only announced characters. And then the Discord, it was Rice, Katie's, Pyro. And so it was just us, like tiny cast so far. And Clown DMs me on Twitter, and I can grab the DMs. It's just immediately just, are you the owner of Kaboodle SMP? And I go, yes. And he goes, can I join? And I'm like, sure.
That sounds like the most clown
that's the
thing
whole
to
thing.
ever say. Like,
yeah, literally, hi, are you the owner of Kaboodle SMP? Hey, yeah, I am. Can I join the Kaboodle SMP? And I'm like, yeah, because I didn't really know who Clown Pierce was, because I'd sort of, the only elements of the lifesteal, not the lifesteal, the only elements of like I didn't really know what lifesteal was. The only elements in the Minecraft community I kind of knew about were like Dream SMP, Tommy and it, like Dream, like that kind of like the massive like creators. I didn't really, or like the other side of sort of the smaller Minecraft community, which is like outsiders, like just kind of like Apo, Eloise, like Owen, like that kind of side, like the Twitch sort of side of it. So I didn't really know much about the YouTube side, but I had heard of Clown Pierce before, not much, but I kind of knew his name off the top of my head, and I was just like, wait, this guy's, and I remember I texted Maddie, and I was so excited because I'd heard about him before, and I was like, holy shit, this guy's supposed to be like a really good PvPer. He's like, but then from then on, like we got him into the SMP, and he's such a sweetheart. I know he doesn't want me to say this because like his whole persona is that he's big and scary and he's the deadliest Minecraft PvPer, but he is genuinely one of the sweetest people I've ever met. He's such a sweetheart. I could never praise Clown enough, and I know he listens to these podcasts. Hello, Clown Pierce.
yeah, he's definitely gonna be like DMing me after he hears this. He's gonna be like, never let her on again.
No, I love Clown Pierce. He's amazing. But I remember when I met up with him as well at TwitchCon.
I saw that. I saw your YouTube video. I saw that one. Wait, did I see the VidCon one? I saw the one where you like fought
so it would have been TwitchCon
in real life.
Yeah, that was at TwitchCon.
That was a TwitchCon one?
But I have the story as well of when I met up with him originally, because it's also very funny. So basically, when we arrived at the airport, we were supposed to stay in Clown's house, in like his like apartment for like, or his hotel for like a night, because it was traveling was me, Maddie. You know Maddie Milkberry, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So me, Maddie, and then Maddie's boyfriend Marcel. So we were all traveling together. And we said, we asked Clown if we could stay in his place in LA for a night, because he was there because of Vid Summit. And our Airbnb in San Diego wasn't open until the next day. So we asked if we could stay with him, and he said yeah, and he said that he would come and like walk us in from the airport, because his hotel was like right next to the airport. And we land, and I call him and text him so much, he just doesn't pick up the phone. Turns out he's just asleep. He's just slept through it, and we sit in the lobby of his apartment for like half an hour to an hour to just wait for him to wake up, and he doesn't. It's like 11 a.m. He just doesn't wake up. And obviously Maddie and Marcel are 20 at this point, so they're still like, they're old enough in Australia to get a hotel, but you're not old enough in America to get a hotel. So we didn't really know what to do, so we sat in the lobby of this hotel for like an hour until we were completely convinced that Clown Pierce just wasn't ever gonna wake up. So we walked like 20 minutes, 30 minutes to find another hotel that would like have that would take people under the age of 21 to like book a hotel room. And we found one. And then as soon as we got into the room, about 10 minutes later, Clown Pierce texts me. But then he comes and meets us because I had no idea what he looked like, right? He didn't show me prior to us meeting up what the hell he looked like. I had no clue. He didn't give me any indicators. So he said that he was going to come meet us at the bottom of our hotel. So we all go down, because he texts me saying he's here. We all go down the escalator, and I see a man. I'm not going to. He's tall. I see a tall man.
Okay.
I don't know if I should describe what he looks like. Probably not, so I'm not going to. But I see a tall man stood outside the elevator, holding his hands in like the classic evil villain pose. You know that like make a like a pyramid with your hands, like that. I see him stood outside the elevator like that, and I have no idea if this is Cloud Pierce or not, because I'm sort of like, this is probably Cloud Pierce, but I don't want this to just be some random guy. I don't want to just go hug a random guy, and I have no idea who it is, and I just stare at him, looking really confused until he goes, "Hello, Kaboodle," in like the Cloud Pierce voice, and then I'm like, "Holy Cloud!" But that was, I think, one of my favorite things. And then you saw the vlog as well. You saw the juice that he made.
Yeah, that was disgusting. That was actually. See, the funny thing about Clown is it's hard for him to like catch on to things sometimes. So, like, for example, me, Spoke, and him will be in a VC, and Spoke and I will just be talking in Dutch, which is his native language. Yeah. But we'll be saying like the most out of pocket things ever, like in Dutch. And he's going to be sitting in that call for like 30 seconds. And then there's just this moment when he picks up on it and he's like, "Yo, what?" Or I think another example was like when he DM'd you, when your Twitter name is Kaboodle and the SMP is Kaboodle SMP. And he goes, "Yo, are you the owner?" Like, what kind of question is that?
I also have owner of Kaboodle SMP in my bio.
Yeah,
on Twitter as well. But oh my god,
how tall actually is he?
He's tall. Have you never met up with him in real life?
I know what he looks like, but I have no idea how tall he is, because he's been going around he's been saying he's like 6'3". Yeah,
I'd say he's like 6'2", because Marcel is like 6'4", and he was like slightly smaller than Marcel. So I would say, and he's taller than me and Maddie, but me and Maddie are both like 5'4", so that's not really saying much. But but no, he's like 6'2". He's like really buff as well, which I wasn't expecting. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't that. He doesn't like, as far as I asked him, because he's really strong, because obviously I fought him, but he doesn't work out apparently, but he's just really buff and really strong. And he's just this tall guy, but he gives good hugs. So
okay, yeah, I was reading something about that. Apparently, the Netherlands has like the tallest people in the world because they switched their diet. It was like in some decade, 30 years ago, they switched their diet and started incorporating like a ton of protein and calcium. So now they're saying like the average height of people in the Netherlands is like 6'1" or something. Like, that is insane. Yeah, me too.
I was supposed to be tall, Parrot. You don't understand. My dad is 6'2", and my mom is 5'10", and I am 5'4". How did that happen?
Yeah, I have no idea. Well,
I am supposed to be tall, man.
Well, I hit my growth spurt in, I think it was like the end of 8th grade, right? So I went from like 5'2" to 5'7.5" in 1 year. And like,
sheesh.
Yeah, so when you get your like thing, you get your paper back from the doctor, they put you on like a chart and they're like, "This is where we predict you to be." And they predicted me at like 6'2", and I was like, "Oh boy, let's go." But yeah, lo and behold, I only grew like 3 more inches since then, but it's all good.
Don't worry, man. We're in this together. We're in this together, man.
Yeah, it's fine. Still taller than the national average. That's fine.
That's what you're going for. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Are you planning on going to VidCon?
Yes, I have a very exciting trip later this year that I'm very excited about. I'm going to VidCon Anaheim and TwitchCon Paris, and then I'm going to Canada and Brighton as well, and I'm so excited about it. I'm going to be gone for like 6 weeks alone, and I'm very excited about it. Because I've never traveled by myself before, like without Maddie or my parents, so I'm very excited. To VidCon, I'm going with Maddie, but I think we're actually staying in the same hotel as like Spoke and everyone, which is gonna be really cool.
Is it this hotel? Hold on, I'll DM you, because I'm staying here too. Well, yeah.
Hey, yeah.
Okay. I think literally everybody's
awesome.
staying there.
Stay in the same hotel. Yeah, I think so. Everyone, because I know half of like a good chunk of like the Lifesteal guys are also in like the Gen SMP house. But I think everyone is staying there. That's great. We're all gonna be staying together.
Yeah, apparently that hotel has like the craziest stories from last year.
Really?
Yeah. So I know one was that apparently everybody was in the hotel pool, right? Just like messing around.
Oh god, yeah.
And then Clutch was running around the pool when all the signs clearly say like don't run around the pool.
Oh no.
And
Oh no.
Slipped and fell straight on his back in front of everyone.
Oh god, that would hurt.
But yeah,
that's why you don't run in the pool area, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually so excited for VidCon though, because I feel like I've only met up with a couple of creators. Like I've only met up with Vitalacy, Spoke, Jaren, Parker, and just my two like Vortex and Woogie. But well, obviously because they go to my school. But
yeah.
like besides that, I have not met anybody else, which is kind of insane to me. Like I've been doing YouTube for like I've been doing it since August of 2020. So the fact that I've only met like 4 creators who are all in lifesteal, I mean,
VidCon's gonna be great then.
Yeah.
I remember when I went to TwitchCon, it was just such an insane experience. Because I as well, I'm part of like a lot of different sides of the community in the Minecraft area. Because I've never really solidified in kind of one community of the Minecraft area. I just kind of bounce around a lot. But that means that I know a lot of people. So going into like the partner lounge or like a TwitchCon and just seeing like the sea of just everyone that I know that are all like completely different groups and stuff was so cool. Because all of my friends were just in one place and it was fucking awesome. Because I'm normally kind of introverted around like big groups and stuff. Because I'm very social online, but in person I'm pretty introverted, pretty shy. But like I don't know, something came out at me at TwitchCon. I was talking to everyone. I was so excited. But yeah, it was fucking awesome. You'll love VidCon. You will love VidCon. It's so cool. But my big trip is so at the end of June, I'm going to VidCon, and then after VidCon, I'm going home for like a week because there's like a week between VidCon Anaheim and TwitchCon Paris, and it was like too expensive to stay in a hotel. So I'm going home for like a week, and then literally like 4 days after I get back, I'm going to Paris to go to TwitchCon, and I'm staying in the KSMP house there with like Mads and Clown and like Pyro and like a lot of KSMPs coming, which is really awesome. And then after that, I'm going to Ottawa in Canada for 2 weeks because one of my best friends, Pluno, she's not a streamer anymore, but she used to be. We used to be a pretty like decent sized like duo back in 2021. We're still very good friends. She's just doing university now. But I'm going to go stay with her for 2 weeks in Ottawa because when I turn 18, I plan to move there to Ottawa to go live with her. So I'm going to go live with her for 2 weeks. So that's super exciting. And then both of us are going to go over to Brighton for 2 weeks as well because I want to go hang out with Tubbo and like Freddie, Badlino, and it's Marco's birthday. And she's dating Marco, which is like Bill's roommate and also one of my really good friends. So we're going to go over there for 2 weeks and then I come home after that. So it's like 6 weeks, 5 weeks, something like that. I don't know how I'm going to do content during that time yet. I still have to figure that out. That is I'll figure something out, but I'm very, very excited about it because I'm going to be doing lots of like, I want to do more vlog content as well because you know, like, Tommy and it's like Tom Simon's channel, like the vlog channel. Yeah, I really want to do similar to that because I think it's like, I've seen those videos. They look so much fun. They look so fun. And I feel like it'd be so fun just to grab a bunch of friends and just make a video out of it because that sounds so entertaining. And I feel like VidCon and TwitchCon and like Canada and Brighton are probably the best chance to do that. Because while I'm in Canada, I'm probably going to meet up with Prince Zam as well because he lives similar to where Kaylee lives, or Pluno. So I'll probably go say Prince Zam while I'm there. I think actually that might be also when. Oh, actually, I don't know if that's public. I probably can't say that.
Okay.
I probably can't say that, but I think there's gonna be someone else there too that I probably can't say, but I might go see her as well.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any plans for like what you're gonna do next year? Because I don't know how the Australian school system works, but from what it sounds like, you're a senior right now, right?
Well. Still a little fun fact, Parrot. I left school because I hate it.
Yeah.
But basically, I won't go into it, but 3 years ago, I had a very, very, very bad experience with school for a few years, and it kind of just ruined my entire school experience. I couldn't be motivated to do any work. I couldn't do anything to do with it. Like, thinking about it gave me really severe anxiety and panic attacks and like that. So at the end of last year, I was sort of just like, I would like not do schoolwork to work on content creation because I couldn't bring myself to do it. So at the end of last year, I was sort of like, I'm going to work really hard over summer break, and I want to see if I can properly turn this like into a career or not. Like, is this actually like feasible to do for like the rest of my working life? Right. Mm-hmm. And then it started to become like, I started growing a lot more when I did it full time, and I started to become sort of more, a lot more like able to kind of like see this for like a future. And I sort of just went, well, if I have this thing and I'm going to work on this thing and I want to do this thing, then, and I despise school, then what's the point in being here? Because it's just going to make me more miserable. And ever since I made that decision, I have been significantly happier. Like, I don't know. School was never really my thing, especially because I went to very like high prestigious schools for a lot of my life. So it was, I don't know, being sort of my own person now and not having to, being on my own time, my own schedule, and doing my work whenever I want to, and not having to like do certain like assignments on things I do not give a shit about, that would take hours and just kill my soul inside is so nice. Because I didn't really want to go to uni. I don't like the school system at all. I could rant for hours on how much I despise the school system, because oh god, I could get into that, but that's a whole different time. It's a whole different thing. But I know a lot of people consider school to be very important. Like I've been told that you're very good in school and do lots of school things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been told that you're a big school kind of guy. But I don't know. It just didn't work for me.
Yeah, the thing about school for me, like, I think that, I don't know how important high school is. Like, I think it's important to do well in high school so that you can get into like a college that can support what you need.
Yeah.
But like for me, sitting in high school and just learning about things and being forced to do things that
oh my god, yeah,
I did not care about just made me like really mad. Because the reason why I am going to like college next year is because I can actually take classes and major in things that I'm actually interested in. So I can take like music theory, and I can learn about editing and all these like actually cool things, versus shout out my teachers sitting in certain classes and getting told the equation for a ball falling from a skyscraper.
Oh. It's so killing, isn't it? Oh my god. But yeah, I think I do eventually want to go back to some kind of education, because I know I've been told that university and like college, because we don't have college here, but we have like university. I've been told that university is very different from high school in terms of sort of the way of learning. Like Maddie's doing a biology degree at the moment. So she obviously is at uni a lot. But she has told me, and obviously my parents have all told me, that uni is very different from high school. Yeah. And at some point, I think it would be cool to go back and do education. But as of right now, I am not in the mental state where I can do that, or just sort of like don't have the time. I want to continue pursuing content creation right now. Yeah. Eventually, maybe in like 5 years, 6 years, maybe I might go back and do some kind of uni degree or something. Just, I don't know, just do something, because I do enjoy learning, but it's just not when it's forced upon me, or things I really don't care about, or have any interest in.
So when you were like grinding in that, you said there were like over the summer, you just like grinded on content, right? And pursued content. Was there like a specific video or moment that just like catapulted everything? Because for me, I was like on TikTok and like I was making TikToks. They were doing pretty good. But then there was this one video, which was the first ever school SMP video. And that just, boom, like that kicked everything off.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Oh, TikTok. Oh, TikTok is a whole other story. Anyway, with YouTube, I'd say probably, let me pull up my channel. I'd say probably the obvious one is the vlog, right? Because that was sort of the revelation I had where I went. Because before then, all of my videos had just been like, because basically early 2022, I went on this like break from YouTube for like 8 months because my mental health was so terrible that I just couldn't do content, which was bad idea for my content, but I needed it, so it's fine. But basically before then, like all of my other videos were sort of just, they got views because I advertised them on TikTok, right? Because I have a decent following on TikTok and that was sort of my main platform. So all my videos just got views because of that, not because the algorithm had really pushed them. It was just, I would advertise them on TikTok and they did well. After that, obviously when I came back to content, I didn't have that anymore because I hadn't been making content for like a good chunk of time. I think I was streaming for like 4 months before that, but I hadn't gone back to YouTube until like, I didn't go back to, okay, fun fact, I went back to YouTube because of Clown Pierce actually, because it was in September. So I had become kind of good friends with Clown at that point. Because I'd known him for like 4 months at the time. And Clown was talking to me and it was like, you know, I know you really want to do this. Like, I know you really want to properly make it as a content creator and I believe in you, but you got to start making YouTube content again. And I was like, oh, I know you're right, but I'm just scared. Like, I don't know how to do it properly. I just kind of winged it like my whole content before that because it was just, I just advertised it on TikTok. And he is like, I will teach you how to make a YouTube video properly. And he did. And my first video was edited by someone else, right? And like, no, my first video back, which was the trapping girls in a different dimension, which was my KSMP video, that was edited by someone else, like the person that I normally got to edit all my videos, right? Because I didn't edit any of my own videos like before then. And then Clown suggested, because I know how to edit, right? I've been editing for like 5 years on After Effects now.
Yeah.
Because before I was a YouTuber, I was an editor, or like a content creator, I was an editor. And Clown was like, you know, why don't you try like editing your own videos? You know, I edit my own videos, like a good chunk of Lifesteal like edits their own videos. So it helps with like story progression and you will know what you want to do with like the algorithm and how to keep retention. And I'm like, that's a good point. Yeah. So then I edited the vlog myself. And that was the first video I edited in like myself. Cause I edited my own videos when I very first started, like before I could afford an editor. But that was the first time I'd edited my own video in like 2 years. And I listened to all the tips that he said and like how to keep engagement and progression. And the video did really, really well. And that was sort of the turning point in my brain where I was like, holy I know how to do this now. Like I actually understand the fundamentals. I know what goes into a good video now. I know how to make these be popular. Like I know how to do this. And that was sort of like the turning point in my brain where I was like, holy like I haven't gotten there yet, but I actually see this working now. Like, I know how to do this. Yeah. I was so happy for, like, ages after that. Not just because the video did well, but because sort of... It wasn't even that the video did well. It was just that I had understood. Like, I understand. Because a lot of things... Because I have ADHD and possible autism, which I'm getting diagnosed for soon. But it means that a lot of things in my life, I didn't really understand a lot. Like, I would sort of pretend to understand because then it would make people happy, but I didn't really get a lot of I don't really like the actual ins of it. It takes a while for me to actually understand and process, which is why I hate reading. But it takes like a bit for me to actually process things and understand things properly. And the fact that something I cared about so much and wanted to do so well at, I actually like fully understood it now and I knew what to do was sort of just it made me so happy. I like actually started tearing up when I sort of had that realization. I was so happy. But yeah, so I think that was definitely the turning point of like, holy I can actually do this. And then as well, when I started the ACO series as well on my channel, which was like the bringing it in everyone to kill Clown Pierce on KSMP. That was really fun. That series was really fun. But, yeah, so that was also when I started I haven't made a video in a little while. That's just because you know, mental health. So I haven't made a video in a bit, but I've made myself a deal that if I do not upload by the end of this weekend, then Clown gets to slap me at VidCon. So I'm doing that now. But especially, oh my gosh. Okay, I want to talk about something that I think is it is kind of to do with mental health, but
Okay, go ahead.
I think it's super cool at the moment because I know for a fact I made videos pretty rarely. I made them like at the beginning, I made them like once every week. And then after a little bit, I started to get a bit burnt out of it as well because of how high like production each video was and how much effort I'd have to put in it. Because like when I was making those daily, like not daily, weekly, like ACO videos and like all of that stuff, I wouldn't be able to talk to anyone. Like normally now I sort of like every day I'll maybe get in a call with like a friend for like an hour and it like switches friends. Like I'll just hang out with people, just play video games, play some Overwatch for a bit, you know, just do other things, take a break. When I was making those weekly videos, I didn't have time to do any of that. I was constantly working all the time because I'm a perfectionist, right? Like a very bad perfectionist, which just means that I will not release a video. I think I've talked to Ash about this as well. I think he's similar. I will not release a video unless it is the highest quality ever. And especially with like, I call it editor's eye, but it just means that you can pick up every tiny little fucking inconsistency and issue in every video ever. And I'm a lot more hard on myself, obviously, than I am on other people. But it means that if I see any issue, like any slight little tiny problem, like one frame lagging over the side of something, I will get so annoyed by it and I have to fix it immediately, which just means that all of my videos would take a very, very, very long time to make. And I still do it. I'm trying to get better at it, but I am still doing it. But I know that someone I do look up to a lot is, would you guess it, Clown Pierce. So as one of like, I would say he's one of my best friends, but I look up to his content a lot. And I think because his videos are always like, they would always like invoke such a story in them and make you kind of feel like emotions, like, and they'd have so much adrenaline, like the casino video, like there's so much adrenaline and this big satisfying ending. And I always tried to like replicate that, but the issue was that he would make those videos every 2 months and I was trying to make them every week, which was just it was impossible, right? It wasn't possible to do that with like some kind of like actual mental health like actually like having time to do things for yourself, which my whole life I like to think that I'm not human in the case of what I can achieve. Like I like to just pretend that I don't actually need to sleep that much and I don't need to eat food and I don't need to actually take time to relax so I can work constantly and do this thing and achieve my dream and motivation and shit like that. But it wasn't possible and I got super burnt out by it. And for the last few months or so, I've had a hard time like trying to make videos as well that I feel that I'm proud of because I've held myself to a super high standard because Clown's videos were all super high standard. And I was like, oh, I have to be as good as Clown if I ever want to do anything. And recently, I don't know if you've seen Clown's channel recently, but recently he's like been doing much more frequent videos and like let himself like drop the quality. And those are his words, that I'm not insulting him. Those are his words. Let himself sort of like drop the quality of the videos and sort of do a lot more chill things. And like his most recent video was just like getting really stacked. It was just the process of him getting lots of armor in Friend or Foe. And seeing that, I think, has helped me definitely and I've told him this, take a lot of pressure off of myself in terms of content creation. Because especially with like a lot of the lifestyle guys, because, okay, you guys are pretty cool, okay? I do say I look up to all your content a lot. You guys are pretty cool. All your videos are pretty awesome. But it made me put a lot of pressure on myself because of how incredible those videos were. So seeing Clown like sort of not make those be happy not making those entirely like insane quality videos has like helped me so much in terms of like realizing that I don't have to make these insane videos to enjoy what I do, because I like making comedy videos, right? I'm not like a big PvPer, like a little bit trap person, like a lot of the kind of lifestyle area is. I like making comedy videos. I like doing comedic. I do like being put in like situations where everyone else is like super like super like serious and insane PvP, blah blah blah, and then I'm just kind of there, and I'm just sort of the comic relief of the situation, because I really like being in that situation, because I kind of thrive off of that kind of energy. But yeah, seeing Clownpier sort of do more casual has helped me so much, because it's sort of the thought of just like, you don't need to do insane videos to be a good YouTuber, right? And you can do what you love, do what you enjoy. And I've always known that mentally, but I guess seeing Clown actually begin to do that in his content is just really inspiring. And
Yeah.
this is just me complimenting Clownpier. This whole thing is...
I know.
I did not realize that.
Yeah, it's really interesting because he called me like 2 weeks back, and he screen shared me the entire Friend or Foe episode 1 video, and he was like, so what do you think? Because to me this feels boring. And I'm like, Clown bro, if you're gonna sit here and you're not gonna upload for the next 2 months because you think this is boring, just get it out. And he did.
Yeah.
And then right now he's on a crazy schedule. It's like 2
He
videos
is,
per
yeah.
week. But the thing about the videos that he's making right now is, he was even telling me, he's like, yeah, like I can record this footage and it only takes me 4 hours to edit, and then I have the rest of the week freed up. So I was like, dude, good for you. But the thing about my content, like way back then, like in Lifesteal Season 2, I was kind of on that same weekly to like once every 2 week schedule, which was absurd because I was trying to pull off these like grand tasks, breaking a ton of bedrock, making all of these cakes, and I would like check my phone and I was like, dang bro, 6 missed calls from my friends, like they're all hanging out right now. And I was like, I need to actually live life. So that's when my upload schedule just tanked. And honestly, like I don't really care that much at the end of the day.
No, as it should, honestly.
Yeah. So
like content is only one part of you, like just generally, like I feel like a lot of YouTubers or like streamers, everyone kind of get caught up in sort of like the rush of the content. It sort of becomes their whole life, but at the end of the day you gotta remember, content is just one part of you. Like I'm Kaboodle, but I also am this actual real person. You're Parrot, but you're also just this actual real person. Exactly. And it's sort of like, you gotta remember that it's not just one side of you. Like it is just one. Sorry, no, it is just one side of you. It is just this one side of you that's just a part of your life, but it's not more important than anything else in your life.
Yeah, I feel like I've recovered the most. So, for example, I would like go 2 days of just hard editing, waking up 10 a.m., editing until midnight, and this has been the case for, I don't even know, ever since I started YouTube. But what really allowed me to like recover from that is just taking time off. Like there's days when I'll check Discord like once, which I know that sounds like, oh, you still check Discord?
No, that like never happens.
Yeah, like on an actual day when I'm doing something like on my computer, Discord is just open on my second monitor and it's like always running.
Yeah, same.
But,
same.
Yeah, there's some days when I'm like, all right, I'm gonna answer all my DMs in the morning, and then I'm uninstalling the app, and then I'm just gone. So that's like how I kind of get back into the headspace. Yeah.
That's probably a good way to do that. I think every now and then I sort of have okay, how deep am I allowed to go with this?
As deep as you want.
Okay. So I have depression, right? I have diagnosed depression. So every little while I kind of fall into a bit of a depressive episode. Which is where I will what I'll have to do is, it'll often like just spine from like a bunch of tiny little things that go wrong that all just sort of, it's like tiny things. Like I see a tweet that's like transphobic or something, like it's just some normal thing, or like a hate comment. It's like nothing, but since it's so many things and I'm already in like a bad state, it'll just build up, and then I'll go into the state of I'll just switch my mind off for like a week. Like it happened a few weeks ago. I had to take a break from content for a week because that had happened. Like a bunch of happened that was just really tiny, but it just completely built up, and I had to completely switch off. And what I end up doing is it's not great. I can't leave my bed for like a week or so, or like at least a few days, and I'll just sit there and I'll just watch Netflix or YouTube or something. Probably most of the time not YouTube, because I basically just try to run away from anything in terms of content creation.
Yeah.
Or like, because that's pretty much like, well, I'm getting better with this now. I'm doing more like other things, but since I'm not in like school or anything, and a lot of my friends are online or Maddie's like in uni, I don't really do that much else other than content creation. So I'm starting roller skating soon, which is gonna be really fun. But anyway, but I'll sort of just like shut off from everything, and my brain will just shut off, and it's kind of just because I kind of put too much pressure on myself and sort of just like go into the world of content creation too much. Because the thing about content creation is that world never sleeps, right?
Yeah.
It never ends. It never rests. And especially in being in Australia with it is really hard, because when I wake up, I'm already like late for everything. Because 11 a.m. for me, or like 10 a.m., 9 a.m., which is when I wake up, is like 8 p.m. in America, like 7, 8 p.m. in America. So the Americans have already had their entire day, which means all of my American friends have DM'd me on Discord. I have so many tweets and things like that. Like, I'm already late. Like, there's so many things going on when I wake up. Which means that just it gets so much sometimes. So when it just gets too much, like I was trying to do daily TikToks, because my TikTok's very easy to get views on in terms of like when you know what you're doing, it's like pretty simple to get views on. But I was trying to do it like every day, and since I'm such a perfectionist, each TikTok would take me like 4 or 5 hours to make. So that would just take up a giant chunk of my day, and it just started draining my mental energy and mental health, because I would stay up till like 1, 2 a.m. every night and then get up at 6 a.m., which every single night for like a week, like 4 hours of sleep is just not enough. And I started, like, my actual physical health started to decline. So I started like just randomly like feeling like I was going to pass out, getting really lightheaded. Like I wouldn't eat because I was so focused on content creation, and just doing all that stuff. And this was like less than a month ago. But like I would just get so like into it where I just wouldn't sleep. I wouldn't eat. I wouldn't like do anything. I wouldn't go see anyone. I wouldn't talk to anyone, because I was just, I got really sick from it. Which is when I just had to stop. I just had to shut off. And then I spent a week binging Big Bang Theory. And then I sort of came back to it after that. And I kind of, cause that kind of stuff has happened before, but before, when that stuff happens, I hadn't learnt my lesson, and I would just try to push through it.
Yeah, I had like, mine wasn't like nearly as severe, but I also blew up on YouTube like before I even turned 16. So here I was like sitting there, all these numbers going up, and back then I had like really bad anxiety about what I hate what now looking back on, I hated the most about YouTube Studio was that every single time you entered the dashboard, it would say your newest video, it would say how many days it's been, and then it'd say what it was ranking out of 10, right?
Yeah, the stupid 10, the stupid, oh god,
yeah,
oh my god, yeah.
I was going, like, when I was first blowing up, it was 1 out of 10, 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 over and over and over again. And then all of a sudden, there was just this point when it just like flipped, and it was 7 out of 10. And I looked at that and I was like, what? And then my next video was a 9 out of 10. And that's when, because I was being fed so much by like the dopamine and all these numbers, that's when it kind of just sucked the joy out of making videos for me. Because like before, I was really making videos that I loved and I was proud of, and I was posting these because I loved them. And I was like, even for the first school SMP video, I was editing it. And at the time, my parents wouldn't let me keep my PC in my own room. So I was editing it in the office, and my mom was like clacking away on her keyboard. And I remember editing I edited for 3 hours straight. And then I was like, Mom, come look at this montage I made. And obviously she didn't care, but that was like, so basically it was this point where it was like, I loved content creation. And then all of a sudden I kind of turned it into a business, and I was trying to optimize everything, but I kind of moved away from that, especially with my past like couple of videos. I like tried experimenting with a series. And then my most recent video, like that was something that I feel like it really came from my heart. Like I knew there was this one Discord call that I was having with this guy named Ray's Works, right? And I had this option. I was like, all right, if I keep this in, I know it's going to tank retention. And I know that for a fact. And it could probably harm this video a lot. But like deep down in my heart, I knew that that sequence and that call with Ray was really important, like to develop him as a character. So I ended up keeping it in, and then lo and behold, it was like horrible for retention. But like genuinely, I just don't care at this point. Like,
As you should.
yeah, like I don't even look at the numbers anymore when I log into YouTube Studio. I usually just like the only reason I log into YouTube Studio now is to see how like my friends are doing. So yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. I tend to avoid going into YouTube Studio as well a lot of the time. But especially because I'm sort of well, as sort of, you know, a female creator who has male friends, I get very, oh my god, you should date, blah 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 blah, you're so cute, blah, 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 blah. It's bad. It's bad. The amount of comments I've gotten like that with clown is horrific. Literally horrific. Because obviously as well, I'm a minor and he is not. Which is terrible. Oh god, it's so bad. It's so bad. But hey, people listening to this, do
not ever do that.
Yeah, don't ever do that. 1, do not ship people without their consent. 2, do not ship minors and adults.
Yeah.
God, 3, do not comment it without them wanting to see it. Don't do it. We see everything.
All right. You know what's crazy?
What? What's crazy?
It's already been an hour and 15 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, it has.
Jesus Christ.
Like I say this.
That is crazy.
I say this every single podcast, but like whenever there's a good conversation, time just like it's gone.
Really just
time is out of the
flies.
equation.
It really goes. Yeah, holy.
Have you ever heard the outro song before?
Yes, I do. I listen to this podcast.
Okay. All right. I'll play the outro song right now. Ready?
Yay!
All
Wait,
right.
through your AirPods.
Through the AirPods. Let's see if you can hear it.
For reference, listeners, I can hear Parrot through an AirPod mic right now. Because that's
It's like
the
a
only
super
way it works on
scuffed
Discord.
setup. It is so scuffed.
Let's hear this.
All right. It should be playing. Can you hear it?
Oh yeah.
You
I
can
heard
hear
like
it?
one chord.
Okay.
I heard one chord. I heard one chord.
All right, thank you everybody for tuning into this episode of the Test Run. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a 5-star review. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, comment, like. Kaboodle, is there anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, no, subscribe to Parrot, like this video, like Testrun. That's about it.
No
Hope you all
plugs?
have a good day. Well, I mean, okay, I'm just Kaboodle everywhere. Either Kaboodle, I'm the word Kaboodle on YouTube or just Kaboodle everywhere else. So,
All right.
or KSMP.
Bye.